Hi, my name is Daniela and this is my list of top 5 most disappointing books of 2017. As the title suggests, these books are not necessarily the worst books I read in 2017, but the books I expected to like a lot more than I did. Number 1. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. I had really high expectation for this book and I ended up not being intrigued enough by the plot. I even started and finished another fiction book before finishing this one, which is something I almost never do. I just felt that it had a really big potential for being a great atmospheric book, but it just didn't work for me. It was very creepy, but unfortunately kind of bad creepy for me, including the weird romance, and eventually I just stopped caring what would happen next. I still gave it 3 stars, so I'm not saying it is a bad book, but it certainly disappointed me. Number 2. 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. You know, this proves that I really had a great reading year because this is the only book that really made me angry this year. And it's a shame because the story managed to suck me in and I thought that the writing was pretty good, but I didn't agree with the way it portrays things. This book is about a girl who records 13 tapes before she kills herself, and she sends them to 13 people who are supposed to be 13 reasons why she ended her life. This book has no discussion on mental health, and in my opinion it romanticizes revenge suicide as a way to make people realize that they shouldn't have done certain things or they should have liked you more. And this is one of the reasons I think this book is problematic and I gave it 1 star. Number 3 is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. I was really struggling while reading this book. I wasn't enjoying myself while reading it, but I had a feeling that I should finish it because I didn't read it in college. And although there were a few sweet and entertaining moments, the majority of it was just boring for me. Surprisingly, the appearance of Tom Sawyer made things only worse and it became even more annoying. And after I finished it, it almost sent me into a reading slump, so not a great experience and I gave it 2 stars. Number 4 is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. A lot of people love this book and I can imagine why, but sadly I didn't, and I think that it's just not for me. I didn't like the main character very much because he was 15/16 and he sounded like a 10-year-old. I felt that the book was trying too much to be sweet and nostalgic. And another thing that became almost ridiculous was that if you imagine any possible issue a teenager might face, it was probably included in this book. I think it's great when books discuss heavy topics, but if you have suicide, death in the family, defining your sexuality, drugs, abuse, pregnancy, it was just too much, and I think it would be better if the book concentrated only on a few topics instead of trying to include absolutely everything. So yeah, I didn't hate it, I gave it 3 stars, but I thought I would like it more than I did. When I was compiling this list, I thought that this was going to be everything for my most disappointing books of 2017, but then Goodreads reminded me that I actually read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child this year. I believe that for many Harry Potter fans this is enough said, but let's say a few words. I really didn't need another Harry Potter book and I was afraid of reading this one. And somehow I didn't know or forgot that it was not written by J.K. Rowling but by Jack Thorne. But it wasn't J.K. Rowling and it really shows. And I'm really not saying this only because it is a play, because I have read and loved enough plays to know that it's the writing I didn't like, not the genre. There might be minor spoilers ahead, so be aware of that. So, the time traveling, not a good choice and not very well handled. I felt that a lot of the characters were, well, out of character, and some things were really ridiculous. Voldemort Day. To be honest, I consider it more as a fanfiction than a legit part of the series. And bearing this in mind, I gave it 3 stars because I was kind of enjoying myself for most of the part, but I totally get the 1-star reviews because there was a lot of bullshit. So this is the list of my most disappointing books of 2017. If you loved any of these books, well, great for you, and if you want to peacefully discuss them or share some of your most disappointing books of 2017, talk to me in the comments. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!